Hello, and welcome to the Knitting with Cat Hair podcast. My name is Nikki. I'm also known as Knitting with Cat Hair on Instagram and Cat Hair Knitting on Ravelry. I'm coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my partner, our 2 daughters, and our 5 cats. So hello and welcome. A big warm welcome to all new viewers and a big welcome back to all returning viewers. If this is your first time here, this is primarily a knitting podcast, although I do talk about some of the other crafts I'm delving into at the time, such as cross stitch and crochet. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I apologize for the delay in getting an episode up. It's been about a month since my last episode. I cannot believe how quickly time has been flying. But yeah, I'm excited to let you guys know that I'm going to be announcing the winner of the 100 subscriber giveaway. I'll do that after I finish up with all the making content. And yeah, just to let you guys know, up for grabs is this lovely skein of Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock in the colorway Spring Garden. And I figured because it's a variegated skein, it might be a little bit difficult to knit with. So I figured I'd go ahead and throw in a complementary skein as well. This is also Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock, and it is the colorway Empress. So I figured they would look really cute together, maybe in a shawl or as a pair of socks with contrast heel, toes, and cuffs. Anyways, these are up for grabs, so stay tuned to find out if you're the lucky winner. All right, so moving in to finished objects. I have one. It's a pair of socks. So these are my 2 at a time vanilla socks. Yeah, so I just did my new standard sock recipe, which is a 64 stitch on US 1's magic loop. This one was as I mentioned, they were 2 at a time. I think I did 7 rounds of twisted rib for the cuff, and really just knit until I felt like stopping, and put in a slip stitch heel. And then I think I knit, I can't remember how I do it. I think it's 7.5 inches, 7.5 inches. And then I start decreasing for the toe, and it's just I did a Kitchener stitch toe. Yeah. So, the verdict is in. I am a fan of 2 at a time sock knitting, and I will be doing it again in the future. Actually, I've already cast on another pair, which I'll be showing you shortly. So these were knit out of Polka Dot Creek Yarns, which is a Canadian, I think they're based out of Alberta, the province of Alberta, yarn company, small hand dyer. And this colorway is called Spring Showers, and I did the contrasting in Pool, is the colorway. And the reason I did not do the toes, so I did have enough to do the toes as well. I chose to leave them out because my plans are to use up all the leftovers from the mini skeins, because I bought 3 sock sets, and they each come with 2 contrasting mini skeins. So my thought is to use all of the leftovers to make a sock set, so striped. So I didn't want to use up all my leftovers. So yeah, really happy to have those off my needles. I am not the fastest sock knitter, even for vanilla socks. I just am not. But I also cast on a lot of projects, so that could be why. So I'll move into my new cast on, just because I've already mentioned that I cast on a new pair of socks. And these are, again, housed in my Needle Crafts bag. It's a 2 at a time. Let's see if I can show you. 2 at a time sock knitting bag. So there's a divider here, and there's some snaps here that you can close up to keep the two skeins separate from each other. And I cast on a pair of Christmas socks. So like I mentioned, 2 at a time. My over-ambitious thoughts were to knit a pair of Christmas socks for everyone in the family by Christmas. So that's 4 of us. given how slow of a sock knitter I am, I'm sure my mom's laughing her butt off at me right now. Like, I'm a slow sock knitter. I just am. And there's no way I would ever get 4 pairs of socks done in a month and a half. I'm lucky if I can get 1 pair done in 2 months, let's say. So yeah, not gonna happen. So maybe for next Christmas. But I was feeling in the Christmassy mood, so I did cast them on. These are the ones for my partner. So I cast on 72 stitches. I did a 2x2 twisted rib for the cuff. And I just used because it's self-striping, I just used the stripes to guide me. So I just stopped, I stopped the cuff when I got to this black stripe, basically. And I am using yarn by Timber Yarns, which is an Ontario-based hand dyer. And the colorway is called Ho Ho Ho. And I got this last year around Christmas time. They released it. So yeah, I have two 100-gram skeins of Ho Ho Ho, and I need to get 4 pairs of socks out of them. So they're gonna have to be a little bit shorter. Of course, the kids have smaller feet, so that's a bonus. But I also purchased two complimentary mini skeins to use as heel, toes, and cuffs. So this is called dark green, and that's what I'll be using for my partner's socks. Actually, it's a little bit darker than the green that's in here, so that's good. And then I also got a red skein. So I'll do 2 pairs with the red and 2 pairs with the green, and I'm only going to use it in the heels because there really isn't a lot of it, right? So yeah, that's my new cast on. Yeah, I'll be lucky if I can get this 1 pair done for Christmas. I don't know what I was thinking. Who am I fooling here? Oh well, my intentions were good. Okay, moving on to the next work in progress. Maybe I'll go with this one because it's almost done. I was really hoping to cast this off last night so I'd have another finished object for this episode. But unfortunately, I was just too tired. I couldn't stay up late enough to do it. So this is my ranunculus. Let me just get it so it looks pretty. Here we go. This is my ranunculus. This is my summer ranunculus because, as I mentioned previously, I do plan on knitting one for each season. So this is, you can see this progress keeper. That's where I was last episode. So I did quite a bit. I'm literally on the ribbing at the bottom. So I just need to do, I think it calls for 8 centimeters or so for the bottom. So not much more. And then I'll be casting off and this is good to go. And this is knit out of lovely yarn by Illiamani. Let's see if I have the tag to show you. Thought I had it. Yes. This is the tag. It's Illiamani Sabri. And it's a combination of 85% organic cotton and 15% baby alpaca. And my mom had purchased this for me for Christmas one year, a couple years ago now. And she actually got me 6 skeins. So I have 2 of this color, which is color 82, which is like the natural color. And then I have 2 of it's almost like a marled. So it looks like it has the natural color in it with a very light brown. And then there's one that's a little bit darker than that. And it's all kind of brown. So there's 6 skeins. And it literally, like if I'm doing the, I forget what size I'm doing, 46-inch bust. So it's a little bit larger, but if you are smaller than me, you could totally get one of these knit up out of a single skein. So I had to break into my second skein, but I'm only using literally at the ribbing. So it's just for the ribbing part. So yeah, that yarn goes a long way, especially on such large needles. So I'm using US 9s. I think it calls for US 10s or 11s. Yeah, and I'm using US 9s just because I wanted a little bit tighter fabric, given the, this yarn is pretty thin. It's like a lace. It's verging on lace weight. I think it's kind of in between lace and fingering, like a light fingering, I guess. Yeah, so I'm almost done this, and I cannot wait to get it off the needles and think about my next ranunculus. It's a very pleasant pattern. The pattern is by Midori Hirose, and there's a few different options. So you could do a I am doing the large neck, although it is smaller than I anticipated, or than it's shown in the pictures. But there is a smaller neck line as well, and you could do long sleeves, you could do short sleeves, you could do cropped or longer bodied. It's an amazing pattern. I can see why so many people have knitted up. It's a great pattern for sure. And that's my ranunculus. Okay, moving on to my next work in progress. This is my Woodlark Shawl, which is a steeked shawl pattern by Larka of Fibre Tales podcast. So let's see if I can show you here. It's kind of difficult to show this thing. So because it's steeked, it's on round needles and it just kind of curls up at the bottom. But I did finish another round of color work. So did I have a progress keeper? Yes, I did. Here's my progress keeper up here. That's my stitch marker. And so yeah, I did another round of color work. I did make a mistake in my color work. I think here at the beginning of each leaf here, I put 2 stitches instead of 1. I don't even care. It doesn't bother me in the least. So the leaves are a little thicker on the top part, but honestly, I'm a strong believer that unless it's changing the entire functionality of the piece, a mistake here and there, it just adds to it, right? It makes it almost like more individualized. So I'm okay with that. And I wasn't about to go back and rip back and redo it. So there's one more section of color work. So there's going to be, I think, a section of just the like plain after this. And then one last section of color work, and I am done. I am knitting this up as part of a steek along that Naomi from the Yarn Curator and Zoe from the Felicity Yarn Studio podcasts are holding. So it's Steek Along 2020 if you'd like to follow along on Instagram. Your project has to be done by the end of December. Yeah, end of the year. So I think I'm going to make it. I hope. So these are the steek stitches here down the center. That's where I'll be cutting. This is my first steek. I figured, it's a good way to introduce myself to the world of steeking instead of like knitting an entire garment and then, having something go wrong. At least with a shawl, I feel like it's more, I could probably fix it. Hopefully, if I mess it up. But I don't think I'm going to mess it up. So the yarn is from Smallbird Workshop, which is a Canadian hand dyer. I can't remember. I feel like they're possibly on the Alberta as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. All of the links to everything I mentioned will be down below. So if you want to follow up on any of them, yeah, I'll be sure to include a link to her shop. But yeah, so this is a BFL Gotland mix. It's a 75 BFL, 25 Gotland. This colorway is just the natural undyed colorway. And then the color work is in this dark teal, and the colorway is called Ink. And it's so lovely. I love this yarn. It's going to be so warm. I can't wait to get it done because I really do need it. It's starting to get pretty cold in the basement. So yeah, I'm excited to get that done. And that is housed in my super affordable bag from Michaels. I think it was like $12 Canadian, $11, something like that. Not overly expensive, but it's not super fancy either. It's just got this like orange lining in the inside. There's no pockets or anything, but it gets the job done. All right. And so we'll move on to my last work in progress, which is housed in my Jezebel bee bag, which I love. This is my Swallowtail sweater, and it's a pattern by Jamie Hoffman or Knitosophy, also known as Knitosophy. And ooh, I'm right in the middle of my row here, so just have to be careful I don't pull my stitches off. You can see I've added in the 4th color. So this is my progress keeper here. It starts up here. So I did quite a bit in the past month. Yeah, I finished all the color work at the top, and I'm just doing a bunch of stockinette for the body until I get to, I feel like it was 10 inches from here. And then you start the color work at the bottom. Yeah, loving it. Love the colors. This yarn is yarn by Georgian Bay Fibre Co., which is actually a local hand dyer here in Sudbury. This yarn is 100% BFL, non-superwash. The colorways are at the top. This is called Franklin Lichen. The natural color is vintage lace. The dark brown is wrought iron. And then at the very bottom, this rusty color is called Nobel Rust. And I'm loving this knit. I'm loving everything I'm working on these days. That's why I keep alternating, and maybe I'm not making as much progress as on one particular piece as I could be, but I'm just really enjoying it, all of it. So it's awesome. And I can't wait to wear this one. I mean, it's still going to be quite a while because I still have to do the sleeves, and they do have some color work on them as well. But yeah, hopefully I'll get this done in time to wear it for winter. And that is my last work in progress. So this is probably going to be a bit of a shorter episode. Other than those socks, I haven't cast on anything new. And I am thinking about future knits. So with regards to the Georgian Bay Fibre Co. colors that I've used for my Swallowtail, I was thinking of using the leftovers to make these fingerless mitts afterwards. They have little mushrooms on them. They're cute. And this is a pattern by, okay, they're called Mushroom Kelly Muffs, designed by Spilly Jane, aka Jane Dupuy. And these are out of a book called Fair Isle Style that I believe may be out of print now. I know I had to do some looking around. I think I got it on Amazon. But yeah, and the whole reason I purchased this book initially was because I wanted to make... Oh... There's a colorwork dress in here that I ordered some Brooklyn tweed yarn for. Here it is. Just find the main picture. It's called the Brisset dress. And it's by, I believe it's by Goodrun Johnston. Yeah. So yeah, this book, there's a lot of lovely patterns in it. And oh, the whole reason I was thinking about using or working on those fingerless mitts was I really want to perfect my, I guess, color work knitting. So my goal is to, I know I've already knit a bunch of color work things, but I really want to try doing the 2-finger method and getting faster at it. Because right now I've mentioned this previously, but I'm an English thrower. So I am just dropping a yarn, picking the next one up, dropping, clicking. So it's slow going. It doesn't really bother me. But I feel like it would be great to be able to use both fingers and just get better at that technique, because I have tried it and it was pretty loose. So yeah, I figured what better way to try it than on something small that, you know, if I'm not happy with the progress, I can just rip out and restart. So that's my goal, to work on those fingerless mitts and perfect my stranded colorwork techniques. So that won't be for a little while, because I obviously have to finish the Swallowtail first, but that is one future knitting project I'm thinking of. And I still have my eye on the Brisset dress. I just feel like it's a fingering weight dress. So it would take a really long time to knit up. So I'm kind of hesitant to cast it on. But I also have that Knits About Winter book, and there's so many beautiful patterns in that. So I don't know, I think I need to focus on my projects on the needles right now, get those done, and then start thinking more about bigger projects. So that's what I'll be doing. And so in terms of acquisitions, I did not purchase anything in the last month, but my lovely best friend gifted me an early Christmas present, and she gave me this beautiful skein of yarn from, sorry, I rewound it really terribly here, but like maybe I'll show you the colors here. So pretty. It's got lots of like rusty reds, orangey, yellow, green, almost pretty much the whole rainbow, really. And this, like I said, I think is Zen Yarn Garden, and it is their Serenity Silk Plus, I think it's called. Yeah. 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk, and there's 500 yards in the skein, and it's part of their Art Walk collection. So these colorways are based on famous paintings, and this one happens to be based on Gustave Clemet's Embrace. So yeah, I will be looking for a project for this. I haven't knit with Zen Yarn Garden yarns before. They tend to be pretty variegated, so I'm not sure if it's going to pool or not. I might do a test swatch just to see how it looks knit up, and if it is pooling too much, I might switch to crochet. I am by no means an expert crocheter, but I can do the basic crochet stitches, so I think I might look at a shawl. Okay, and that's it. So now I think I will reveal the winner of the prize for the 100 subscriber giveaway. So I did a random comment picker, and I will pop in the winner here. So congratulations, Panushka. You are the winner of the 100 subscriber giveaway. Those two beautiful skeins of yarn from Sweet Georgia Yarns. So Panushka, the prompt was, tell me about the project that you are most proud of and why. She wrote, congratulations on your milestone. I am proud of my test knitting projects, especially the Ruskus pullover designed by Enur Berkambayeva. And I hadn't heard of this pullover before, and I looked it up. It's very beautiful. So yeah, definitely something to be proud of. So Panushka, if you wouldn't mind getting in touch with me and giving me your mailing address, I will get those skeins mailed out to you as soon as possible. So you can reach me either through Instagram. You can direct message me. Again, my Instagram account is Knitting with Cat Hair. Or you can send me an email to knittingwithcathair@outlook.com. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from you. And if I don't hear from Panushka within, by the time I record the next episode, which is usually 2 weeks, I will draw another winner. All right. So other than that, in terms of life stuff, well, I guess I had something pretty exciting happen after, literally after recording the last podcast. My partner proposed to me, so yeah, I'm officially engaged, and just enjoying being engaged. We're not really making any wedding plans at this point, just given the whole COVID situation. We don't really want to it's hard to imagine pulling together a wedding in a pandemic. I know people have done it. I'm just taking it easy. You know, we're in no rush. We've been together for 11 years. So, you know. Anyway, so that's my exciting news. And other than that, the swing came for our pergola, which was amazing. And we got to sit on it a couple of times. There was a bit of a warm spell, and got to sit out there and knit on my lunch hour one day. So that was really lovely. I can't wait to use it more next summer and spring and fall. I did some planting. I got some more bulbs in the ground. I planted some tulips and some daffodils and some, I think they're called Illiam, big poofy purple flowers. So I spent a good Saturday planting all these bulbs. I planted over 100, I think. And the very next day I went out. I should have known this would happen. We have so many squirrels in the neighborhood, and I found like little holes dug up, and they didn't even eat the bulbs. It was like they were just digging them up for fun. I don't know, like dug them up and moved them out of the holes I had dug, and like just left them sitting out. So I had to kind of replant them. So I don't know how well they're going to come up next year. Hopefully some of them do. I mean, he or she did not dig up all of them, but it was a significant amount that I had to go back and bury. So yeah, darn squirrels. Yeah, and other than that, we've just been doing some nature walks here and there and laying low. We haven't done any traveling. Yeah, pretty much it. And just spending lots of time watching podcasts and knitting. Yeah, so I think I will end it there, and I hope everyone is doing well, and yeah, make sure to be kind to one another and spread the love, because the world is, it's a crazy place, and we could all use a little more kindness. Anyways, take care. Bye.